My name is Charles Harrell. I'm here in Green Springs, West Virginia, interviewing Mr. Robert Koontz about his World War II experiences. Mr. Koontz, for the record, would you please state your full name?
Robert French, Salathium Koontz.
And what is your current address?
Green Spring, here, 910 Warner Stickley Road.
Do you know the zip code here?
26722.
26722.
722.
Mr. Koontz, where were you born?
Corinth, West Virginia, little mining town.
And when were you born?
1916, November 26th.
During World War II, what branch of service were you in?
Air Force.
What company were you attached to?
29th.
Service group?
29th Air Service Group and the 40th Engineering Squadron.
Is that 40th or 49th in engineering?
40th.
40th. What was your highest rank?
I didn't get no ranks much. PFC. Served 44 months in there, and 40 of them was overseas.
Were you drafted or enlisted?
Drafted.
Were you drafted in February 17th, 1942?
I guess it's around that time.
And when were you discharged?
15th of December 1945.
Did you only serve in World War II?
Huh?
Did you only serve in World War II?
That's all.
Were you in the New Haberdes Islands?
Yeah.
Guadalcanal?
Yeah.
Mooris?
Yeah.
Did you work alongside Marines?
Besides what?
Marines.
Well, yeah, they was there.
Were you ever a prisoner of war?
No.
Were you ever injured?
No.
I'd like to start our interview today by going back as early as you can remember. Do you remember anything from before the Great Depression? I know you were still a young kid.
Well, my dad was superintendent at the mine, the Corinth mine, and we got along pretty good, I guess, because he drawed pretty good wages. And
What was his name?
Homer Jerry. I guess he was superintendent there 17, 18 years maybe at the mine. I went to work when I was 14 years old.
Did you have any brothers and sisters too?
Oh yeah, I had a brother and 4 sisters.
Were they older or younger? Where did you fit?
I was next to the last one, I guess. I still got one younger than me. He's still living. And now I'm the only boy that's living.
Tell me about your mom. What's her name?
What the devil was Mom's name?
Who?
Mom.
Rosie. Rose.
Who?
Rose.
Huh?
Rose?
Rosie May, yeah. See, I can't remember back.
Did she live in Corinth?
Yeah.
Was your dad always working in the mines as long as you can remember?
That's what killed him. He always worked in the coal mines and they had a depression come on. So he got a job with the state. And at that time they had to ride back into the trucks, the cinder trucks and stuff. And he caught double pneumonia. That's what he died with, double pneumonia. He wasn't used to it. He was all used to being in the mines. He probably had
Black lung?
Black lung. But, we always lived right beside the mine where he was superintendent.
Did he own the house that he lived in?
No, the company owned it, but we didn't have to pay nothing. They took care of all the bills. And I went to work when I was 14 in the company store.
That'd be the beginning of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Did the mine close down at the beginning of the Great Depression?
Yeah.
What did you do in the company store as a job?
I was manager. Only 14 years old. But our superintendent, he was a great friend of ours, and he's the one who put me in there. Sam Light was his name. And he always did treat us good. And so he's the one to give me the job in there. But I took care of it.
Was your dad out of a job at the time that you got a job?
Well, the mine was shut down, I guess. And that's when after that, he got a job at the state, and then he had to ride back into them damn trucks and in zero weather up there in Preston County. And they caught double pneumonia, and that's what he died with.
During the Great Depression, did your family ever go hungry at any time?
Well, we didn't go hungry, but we had to wait on to get. They give out stuff, you know, at that time, and you had to be there and get it. My dad got a job at the State Farm, and they butchered every week, and we lived about 4 miles from there, and I'd go up every week and get a hog head. He worked in the butcher's shop, so they give us a hog head. Man, them old hog heads got heavy, carrying 4 miles. But that was life then.
Did you have electricity in your house when you were growing up?
No, not at that time we didn't.
No indoor plumbing?
Well, we had plumbing, but didn't have no pressure. It was just a pressure. It was a dam they had there to take care of the boilers for the mine. They made electricity, and for the mines, and we had water in from there just running. It didn't have no pressure to it.
How much school did you go to?
School?
Yeah, school.
8th grade. I was going to go to junior high, but I didn't.
Any reason why?
Huh?
Why didn't you go?
Well, I didn't have my. Well, they give me a certain amount of time to go, but the teacher said if I didn't take a part in the play, he wouldn't pass me. I said, you don't have to pass me then, so I quit.
As a kid, were you very sociable?
Well, I got along with about everybody.
But that play pretty much sank you.
Yeah. I always done good in arithmetic, and that's about all. Me and another guy, seemed like we was the best ones in arithmetic, and we had our cipher matches, and we always was the ones that stayed up longest.
Were you an outdoor type of kid?
Well, I don't know. I like to be out a lot.
Did you hunt and fish?
Yeah.
Camp?
No, I didn't do any camping. I don't know. It's been back so long, I've done forgot a lot of it.
As a young kid, did you take any trips anywhere with your family?
Well, we didn't go nowhere, no.
Was Corinth located along a railroad track?
Yeah, there were 2 tracks went through there. One up and one back, east and west. Terralda had a yard. Terralda, West Virginia. We was about 4 miles from there, and they had a railroad yard there.
During the early years of the Great Depression, Herbert Hoover was in charge.
Yeah.
Do you recall anything about Herbert Hoover?
He wasn't any good. That's all I know. I don't remember too much about it.
Did your dad talk much about politics?
No. He died very young, 55 years old. But he caught pneumonia from riding the back end of them state road trucks.
Did he die before you went in the service?
Yeah. 1930.
1930.
30s. No, it was 1937 he died. I went in service at 42.
You were already a young adult and almost 21 when he passed on. Had you still lived in the same house with your family, or had you moved away?
No, I lived down here. I come down here with my, after they had a big flood here, you know, in 1936. My sister and brother-in-law lived up here, or lived over in town there. And the flood come along and washed them out, 1936, and they needed help, so I come down and to help them rebuild and whatever I could do. Stayed down here, got acquainted with her, and we got married. And
you said you moved down here because your sister. What other types of jobs did you have before you moved here?
Well, I worked in the company store. That's about all the jobs I had until I come down here. I worked on the orchard down here, Golden Ross South Orchard.
What did you do there?
Picked apples. Groundhogged them. Got 3 cents a bushel for picking. I think I'd make about $1.50 a day. That was big money.
What could you buy with $1.50 a day back then?
I don't remember. Not too much.
As the Great Depression got worse and worse, the veterans from the First War went to Washington and had a big rally for their bonus.
Yeah.
You recall that?
I recall it, but I don't know too much about it.
Was your father a veteran of First World War?
No.
Did you know any veterans of the war?
Yeah, we had a relative that was a fellow by the name of Turner. He served in the war, and then we had a neighbor got his arm shot off. He was in the war. And that's about all I remember.
Did he ever talk about what it looked like to be in the middle of a battle?
No. No, it was pretty hard to get him to talk about anything.
During the depths of the Great Depression, Franklin Roosevelt becomes president. How did that make you feel back in 1933?
Well, I can't remember too much, but he sure made a difference in the way things we lived, you know, I mean. And, he had, what was that he had for work?
The Works Progress Administration, WPA?
Yeah.
Did you get a job with them?
I wasn't old enough then. My dad did.
How about the 3 C's, the Civilians Conservation Corps?
I never was in that either. I don't remember, but I do.
As the Great Depression keeps worsening, banks are going out of business. Did your father get hurt by the banks going out of business?
I guess he lost a lot of money at it. My brother-in-law lost all his money, and that was pretty bad at that time. got money and then lose it.
In the late 1930s, Adolf Hitler is coming to power in Germany. Had you heard anything about Nazis?
Yeah. Heard a lot about them.
They, of course, don't like the Jewish people. Did you know any Jewish people?
No. Not over there, didn't. My boss was Jew, Light. His name was Light. And he always treated me good and gave me a job in the store. I was only 14 years old. I was manager.
As the Depression worsens, you come down here to live with your sister.
That was after the flood.
There was a bridge built here, wasn't there?
Yeah, I helped build the bridge.
Can you
low water bridge.
Can you describe what you did, help building that low water bridge?
Well, I helped dug the holes for the piers, and Mr. Carpenter was overseer. He was the main one. He's the one that had the bridge built in the first place, and he'd always come around and ask me, "Wobbit?" He called me Wobbit. You touched anything yet, that meant solid ground, see? We dug down into solid ground and bored holes down 2 foot and put angle irons up. I forget how many of them, 10 of them I think in a pier, and poured a footer, and then them rods stuck up there and we poured cement around them for the... That there's been way back there, 37 I guess.
So you helped construct the bridge. Did you also operate it?
Yeah, I kept toll. It was toll bridge.
What was the early toll to get across that bridge?
It was 10 cents to walk and 35 cents for a round trip with a car.
Was that back in the 30s when it was
Yeah,
first
I guess
built?
around that.
38.
How long did it take to build that bridge?
I don't remember.
It wasn't a 2-month job, though. It was years?
Well, yeah, me and Mud Montgomery. And
It started in 37 and opened in 38.
So it took about a year to build that bridge.
yeah. Yeah,
How did that change this town?
Huh?
How did the bridge change Green Spring?
Well, it put us closer together. The only thing it cost to cross it. Whereas before you couldn't cross it if the river was high. They used to ford it. They had a ford over there. You could ford it, but the river had to be low. That was in the summer, fall. The river was low.
It was closer to Cumberland.
Either that or you had to go around by Fort Ashby and through that way.
The war in Europe starts in 1939, and you're an adult. You're 23 years old. By the time the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, you're 26 just about.
Yeah, I was 25 years old when they drafted me. I went in.
You recall the day that Pearl Harbor was bombed on December 7th?
Yeah,
You remember how you heard the news?
yeah, I was staying with my brother-in-law, helping him up here, and heard it over the radio.
Did you desire to go and join up?
Well, I did, but I waited till they drafted me. Her brother joined, but of course he got to stay here in the States some, I guess. I was shipped overseas right away.
Where did you get shipped to when you got your draft notice? Where did you have to go?
Fort Hays, Columbus, Ohio.
What did they do to you there at Fort Hays?
Well, they interviewed you and everything and put you on KP the first thing. Get up 4 o'clock, stay in the road, and they called your name and tell you where you was going. So
Did you want to go into the Air Force?
well, it was better than anything else. They was the one to put me in there, and at that time they wanted to know what I wanted to do, and I said I don't know much about anything about it. So they said we need some transportation. So I went to transportation and drove truck from
After Fort Hays, where did they send you?
back at Mooris Field,
At
Charlotte,
Mooris,
Mooris Field,
Mooris Field?
Charlotte.
And there, what did you do?
Yeah, I was in transportation mostly.
Driving trucks?
Yeah, driving. They'd give it a call, and you'd have to go get an officer somewhere, and go all through Charlotte. Yeah.
Had you been that far away from home before?
No, not really. It was all new to me, but I took it in stride, I guess.
Had you driven cars and trucks before?
Well, no, not exactly. Well, them big old 6x6s, you had to know what you're doing to drive them.
Did you ever own a car before?
Yeah, I owned a car before I went in service. And I gave it to my brother after I went. He was older than me.
What were you transporting while you were driving the truck?
I don't know, Air Corps supply stuff. And then finally I got out of the transportation and in the carpenter shop
In a carpenter shop.
for the Air Corps supply. We shipped out wings and motors or engines. We had to, they was shipped the engines in there by boat. And then they tried to get them in them C-47s. You had to cut it down about 6 or 8 inches, the frames that was boxed in. So they get them in the C-47. And we had a lot of them to do.
Did you fly in any time?
No, I didn't fly any. I knew from base to base when we was moved. I was on the Mortai.
You said you spent 40 out of your 44 months overseas.
Yeah.
You mentioned you were at Fort Hays, Mooris Field. Anywhere else here in the States that you served in?
I don't remember.
How did you get overseas? Did you go by boat or plane?
Went by boat.
What port did you
38
leave?
days.
38 days.
We went to New Haberdes Island. That's where we were stationed at the first time.
Had the island been secured?
Well, we got bombing raids from the Japs, but it was secured as far as on ground, you know.
Do you recall what happened to you during one of those bombing raids?
Well, they would come in there one time strafing, and I hit the ground and skinned my chest all over. Yeah, it was coral, you know, I mean, that hard, rough rock. And man, when you hit that hard enough, you're going to skin something. So I hit that. You could hear the damn bullets whizzing around. The Japs come in to low water, see, and they couldn't pick it up by radar. But he was in there before anybody noticed. They was pretty slick, I guess.
How close were the Japanese airplanes from you?
The what?
How close were the Japanese airplanes from you?
Well, not very far.
Did they get close enough that you could see the pilot?
You know, I never. But we landed there on Guadalcanal. It was about a, I don't know, it was I think they said it was about a week before that. I forget how many planes the Japs had over there trying to take the Guadalcanal back, but they didn't get it.
Did you come under attack when you were in Guadalcanal also?
Oh, yeah, a lot of times. They done a lot of bombing.
Were the bombing done at night or during the day?
Mostly at night. I know one time if bombs went off, I don't know whether I'd have been here or not, but we could hear things going thud, 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 and there was damn bombs hitting the ground, and they didn't go off. It does. It's a good thing.
Were you still working in the carpenter shop at this time?
Yeah.
Did you actually repair any airplanes also?
No, I never had anything to do with them. We was always in the supply business and made boxes for wings and cut the motors down so they go into planes. We had a regular shop, a saw, electric saw.
Were you trained to shoot any weapons?
Well, we was out on the rifle range. I think I made marksman, but that was the gun I had. Somebody had battered the barrel somewhere or another, and when I was shooting, I didn't hit the damn target. Yeah, and so I borrowed another fellow's rifle, and it done all right. I made marksman out of it, because I could shoot. I could see good and shoot good.
While you were on the New Haberdes Islands, did you have to use any weapons to shoot back at the Japanese airplanes?
We was pretty well took care of by the Marines and the Army, I guess. And, I was in the Air Force, you know, and we just took care of our own. They give us I think it was a 25-20 or something like that. Right, automatic. And we had that to take care of ourselves, but I never had to use it.
When you were on Guadalcanal, I'm told the bugs down there were horrible. Do you remember what the insects were like?
Oh, yeah, the bats. We had trouble with bats. Man, they was big as rats. Had wings spread to 3 feet, some of them. You had to watch out for them.
While you were on the base at Guadalcanal, did the base ever come under attack from ground forces?
No.
There was a huge battle right off the coast of Guadalcanal by the navies. Were you there during that time?
I might have been, but I don't remember too much. They was fighting all the time anyhow. On that island, Morta Island, the Japs are still on there. They tried to invade again, but they didn't make it.
How did you get to Morotai? Did you fly?
No, with the boat.
Did you land on the beach?
Well, they had to go in and clear off and put up your tent. And then after that, then they made a rows, you know, fixed it out the way it's supposed to be.
Did you see any Japanese prisoners?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was on the garbage detail. And we had to go in and gather up the garbage, and you see them just sitting around and grinning at you. Yeah, boy, I want to forget about most of it.
When you saw the Japanese prisoners, how did you feel? Did you like them, or were you
Well, I
angry at them, or what?
Just done my work and just looked at them, and they'd sit around and grin at you. And of course, I didn't have no feelings, but I was glad they was there and stood out.
How did you feel about the Japanese attacking us at Pearl Harbor? And
Well, I thought it was a dirty trick. Talking with the president and all, and trying to do this and that, and it was a sneak bombing.
were you on Morotai when the war ended?
I guess, yeah. We was ready to move to some island off of Japan, and we had everything packed up. I had my box of stuff. I never did catch up with it anymore. I had some stuff in it, souvenirs and things, but I never got to bring them home because I didn't find my box. Maybe they threw it in the ocean. I don't know. But
What type of souvenirs did you collect?
What?
What type of souvenirs did you collect?
Well, grass skirts and I don't know. I can't remember much about the stuff,
But you never saw it again.
no, no, yeah.
When the Japanese were bombed by us, did you see B-29 bombers taking off from your landing strips?
Oh yeah.
The big super fortress?
Well, the B-17s was mostly when we first went over. They was the main ones, and then the 29s come in effect, and the 52s and 47s. They had plenty.
When you heard about the attack with the nuclear bombs, how did you feel about Truman using the nuclear bombs?
I didn't realize much about it then. I didn't think about it. But I was glad the war was getting over. I spent 44 months in the service, and 40 of them was overseas. I was getting tired of it.
If you had to categorize one time that you came close to getting killed, where would that have been, and what happened?
Well, that would have been a bombing East Strafing. Our tent, we had a hole, foxhole, and you could get in there and sit down, you know, and all. And he come in there one evening and skimming the ocean, and nobody picked him up. And he come in shooting, and we could hear the bullets hitting the trees. We had our foxhole under, and after it was over, these bullet holes in the tent, our tent. See, we had it screened in with a screen, and the tent itself. He hit the tent, or.
When the war was over, they sent you home, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
How'd you get home?
Well, by boat. No, by air. The main crew, see, they put me on the rear echelon, they called it. And we had to take care of the business that was, we'd already had motion, and so they was 6 days on the boat, barge, whatever it was. We got in the plane. We was 6 hours ago. So they thought they was putting us on something, but it was a help to us. Me and another sergeant. Forgot a lot about that stuff. What do?
Did they fly you all the way back to the United States?
No. They come back by boat.
Did you land in San Francisco or San Diego?
San Francisco.
And then where did you go?
Huh?
Where did you go after that?
We come on to we discharged at camp. I forget what camp I was in California. And I got my ticket home, and I come by train.
Was anybody waiting for you when you got home?
Well, yeah, when the train pulled through here, it stopped at the station, and I was about 3 cars back. Instead of me going up and getting off where they stopped at the station, I got off, jumped off behind 3 cars down the road, and they was looking for me to get off the train, and here I was off and didn't go to where they was getting off. I thought I'd better get off while I could. Another fella, Navy fella, was with me, and he said, "Sure you're getting off the right place?" I said, "I'm damn sure it is."
Did you go back to your sister's home?
Huh?
Did you go back to your sister's home?
Yeah.
Did they know you were coming home?
I don't remember whether they did or not. I guess they might have. Yeah, they was waiting on it up the train, but I fooled them. I got off behind.
While you were in service, did you see any entertainment shows like the USO?
Yeah, I was in the transportation, and out of all the players into Charlotte, North Carolina to practice their play, and I got to see a lot of plays that they done. I was in transportation then.
How about when you got overseas?
Well, yeah, I just took it as it come.
There were no shows put on for your soldiers overseas?
Yeah, they had some. I know we was at a show. A boy in our tent always had trouble with his feet, and he couldn't hardly walk on them. And he was trying to get out of the service, I guess, on the account of his feet. But we was at this show, and the old trolley come over and dropped some several incendiary bombs, man, a million lights, you know, I mean, far. Boy, this, oh boy, there wasn't no trouble with his feet that night. He passed me making naughty. The inner foxhole.
Did you carry anything for good luck during the war?
Never had nothing, no.
Were you a religious man?
Well, I wasn't bad, I guess. I was baptized when I was about 16 years old. So I wasn't bad. I mean, I wasn't too religious either, but...
I'm told the government issued cigarettes to soldiers.
Yeah.
Were you a big smoker at the time?
Yeah, I smoked.
What did you do for entertainment when you had nothing else to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I just read, or we'd play cards, or poker. Play poker.
Did you save up a fair amount of money while you were in service?
Yeah, I forget what I did have. $500-600 I saved. I sent it to my sister up here, and she'd send it to the bank. Take it to the bank in my name. I think I had about $600.
When you came home from the war, what job did you take up?
Same job I was doing at the tie plant. I was a checker over at the tie plant. I checked the timber and stuff and counted it. That was, they gave me the same job and treated me good because I'd come home from service and got along good.
Did they give you any chance to use the GI Bill for more education?
Yeah. Yeah, I could have, but I didn't take it. I got the GI Bill to build this house. Pay $18 a month for on it. I forget. I think of how many. I think about $5,000 I borrowed or something like that. And I built this home. I had the blocks laid, but I done the rest of the work, all the carpenter work myself.
And you paid $18 a month for 30 years?
18. But I didn't pay it that long. After a while, I paid it off. 'Cause
Did you join the American Legion after the war?
no, I never belonged to any of the service.
As you look back at your wartime experience, how did the military change you as a person?
I don't know. You had to do what they wanted you to do, that was for sure. And in ordinary life, you done what you wanted to do, you know. But in there, they done it. So, did you ever serve? Well, I was drafted.
Did the military change you any?
Oh, might have. I was with the Air Force. I was glad to be in that because I wasn't. They put me in the Signal Corps. So I got transferred from the Signal Corps to the Air Force, and they went to Alaska, the company that I was with. And I was damn glad I didn't have to go up there. It was cold.
While you were on the boats coming and going from the South Pacific, did you get seasick any time?
Yeah. Yeah. I got me a box of candy, Milky Ways. I remember, and I ate one of them, and when I got on the boat, my stomach started stirring up. And man, I was sitting on one stool and throwing up in another.
Did you know anybody that you knew before the war that was in your company?
No.
Did you make any good friends while you were in?
Well, yes, I made several good friends. Bevan, he was from up in Ohio somewhere, come from Ohio, and B Tents. He was a good friend. We all was in the same tent together. We got to know one another. What was his name? He was Indian. He was in our tent.
Did members of your company come and go? Did people get transferred in and transferred out a lot?
I don't remember too much about that.
Were there any people in your company that were killed or wounded that you knew of?
Mahone, out here at Augusta, he was cook.
What happened?
Well, he's still out there, I guess. In Augusta, he was here. Well, it's been a couple of years ago.
Was he wounded? Was anybody wounded?
No, he wasn't wounded that I know of. I wasn't wounded.
You mentioned that your air base came under attack at one or more times. Did anybody get killed?
They bombed.
Did anybody get killed?
Yeah, no, not as I know of. We all hit our hole. And he come in there strafing that time, and man, nobody knowed he was in there till the end. We called him Charlie.
Why did you call him Charlie?
That's what I don't know. He used to say up there's Wash Machine Charlie. He said their airplanes sound like a wash machine. And we'd say Wash Machine Charlie. Well, they threw plenty of bombs, I guess.
But you don't know anybody who got killed?
No, nobody in our outfit that I know of. I was with the 40th Engineering Squadron, 29th Air Service Group.
I'd like to thank you for your interview today. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about?
No, I want to forget it. I forgot a lot of it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Koontz.
Yeah, you're welcome.